Okay, it's pretty neat. Yeah, I know what you all were saying, what happened, and I have no idea. But we're gonna try to land on a planet, guys. What happened to streaming? Yeah, I don't know. It said my connection got terminated or disrupted or something like that. So, not for sure. I started another one. Maybe they don't want me landing on this planet.
Landing gear retracted.
That could have been somebody wants me to join PSN chat, but I want to land on a planet first.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I don't know. That was a good little stream we had, wasn't it? Yes, I don't know what happened. It just said stream interrupted or something like that. So. I'm going too fast. God damn it!
Hull integrity
Shit. Yeah, she sends me an invite, I will. I'll be there. Yes! Got him!
Scan detected. Frameshift drive charging.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like Fox, yeah. So, yeah. I remember he had a podcast and he fired everybody on the podcast and pretty much and it started over. And it was Matt's Gaming was on that podcast and Vexum Swift was on that podcast, so but yeah, he was helping me out a lot today with this Sony Share thing. I got to learn how to use that and I can do my own. I can do uploads.
2, 1, engage.
So yeah, shout out to the 2 people here. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the last stream. It is said my thing interrupted, but I blew the hell out of somebody. Not to me, Game 62. He can vouch for me. Yeah, it's hard to get people that are honest because everybody wants to do a circle jerk, and it's just you have a generation of people who don't know how to agree to disagree. They don't know how to do it without arguing with each other. And I was like, right now, we were talking earlier about that NPD. I mean, we're talking about a generation. What's going on, Ian? We're talking about a generation. Oh, Trey BK, yeah, I blew the hell out of him. You see that? But we got a whole generation of people who don't know how to lose. I remember everybody got a trophy because they were like, well, the people who don't get trophies are feeling bad and they're crying. And you know, how many times you hear that? My son's upset because he didn't get a trophy, and this, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's retarded. So you got a group of people who don't know how to, nobody knows how to agree to disagree. So, and you know, not everything that I say is right. That's why it's important for me to have guys on like Sick Humor and J-Dub City, because they're not going to sit up there and, you know, and Porter Rock 77 and Jay Barry, guys like that are not going to sit up there and just let me, you know, have diarrhea of the mouth. So, all right, now I've never used this thing I'm using right now. Cool, put me in orbital flight. You all hear that? Pretty neat. I agree, Trey, they're not. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, just so you all know. First time doing this. You have very, okay. The gravity, now this is like flying a jet at this point, like flying a regular jet plane in a sim. So, but when you get into it, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know people are saying they try to take that word and turn it around, and you can't do that with that word. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, and look, let me make this clear. I like Zaire. Okay, I like him. So, I just think what he's doing is beneath him. So, and I'll say that to him. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing though. I'm just kind of letting it bring me in. So, all right, I've got mass lock, so. This is pretty neat, guys. I can't lie. Color me impressed. So yeah. But yeah, Trey, this is the DLC that when you gave to the PayPal, this is what I got. Yeah. It does. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here just kind of looking at it the way it's pretty cool. So again, I've never done a landing before, so I'm but this is neat as hell. Well, about 90 seconds away. Either I'm gonna crash or land. So yeah. Well, I don't disagree. I mean, and it's just look, they'll have something more to talk about now, I guess, because of the NPD. But I don't know what they could brag about. Like I said, it's grown ass men talking about sloppy seconds. So, and that's why I put on YouTube, or not YouTube. I put on my Twitter page. This is a bunch of front row riders. Yeah, now when is Monster Hunter coming out?
DeLacy, Charlie, Romeo, Alpha, you must submit a docking request before landing at this port. Access denied. Close distance and resubmit request.
Yeah, now it says I tried to. Yeah, does anybody know when Monster Hunter is it coming out? Is it this month or next month? Let me keep on trying to request docking.
Clearance denied. Resubmit request within 7,500 meters.
Okay, so you have to. All right, so this is like landing at the. All right. Let me slow her down. Here we go, guys.
Request approved. Clear to land at docking bay 02.
All right, I've not played Everspace before. Is it on a console or is that a PC game? Guys, this is looking neat as hell. Big shout out to Trey BK. Into January. Okay, so like the last weekend. Dude, this is cool as effing hell. Oh my. PC and console. I'll have to look into it then. What is it about? How about Valkyrie Eve or Eve Valkyrie? I'm thinking about looking into that too. You should get hit. Hit by who? Get hit. Horizons. Oh yes, this is Horizons. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is so effing cool. I don't know, Tony just said it popped up, a message popped up. It said that
Caution, deploy landing gear.
it said that that everything was like had been terminated, then it came right back on. But you all are here at my first landing attempt at you know, on a moon. Everspace has more space battles. Okay. Alright. Do you get to have a wingman and stuff like that?
Hull integrity compromised.
That's it! We did it! Cool!
Confirm contact. Commence power down. It's good.
Wow, God, that was cool as hell. So I can you can get a rover and drive. Okay. Now, does the rover stay on your ship? Oh, shit. Oh, here we go. Starport services. I'm just kind of overwhelmed. Wow. So we're going to refuel. Okay. Oh, just okay. Well, that's cool. I guess I have to do what? Do I have to buy it here? Let's go to the library. I guess. Well done. Hey, I crashed. All right, now where do I go and get a rover? I guess that's our next step. So. What's going on, Beanie Boy? Or Benny Boy, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find, yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm trying to find out where I can get a rover. So, maybe it's crew lounge. It's an optional internal. Okay. So, outfitting. I gotta get rid of my fuel scoop. There ain't nothing here. Hold on, wait a minute. Planetary vehicle hangars, is that what you mean? I mean, it has a hangar, but I have to buy a hangar, then I have to buy it. I have to buy the hangar first, then it'll unlock the, what am I trying to say? So, planetary vehicle hangars. Not seen any of this game before. Oh, okay. Well, I'm making a warped attempt to find a vehicle to drive around in. Right now, I can't find one. So it's a lot. It said the vehicle hangars should have a rover in it. Okay. Well, all right, Tony P. I'm gonna trust you on this one. This doesn't look like an Xbox game. What's up, Jay Fonz? Oh, it is an Xbox game actually, but this is the PS4 version of it. Hey, there it is. Well, is it gonna let me buy it? Hey, I got a vehicle now. But I don't have a fuel scoop. That vexes me. I'm terribly vexed by that. Okay. So, let's see if we can drive around. Or will it let me outfit my, let's see if it let me outfit my, my vehicle. Replace a cargo rack. Okay. with the fuel scoop. All right, can't do that one. Okay. It won't let me do it. But that's okay. That's fine. It's not that big a deal. Well, if they had any games, maybe he could. All right, now Benny, come on, J Fonz, that's my boy, that's my man, 50 grand, okay? And they do have this game on the Xbox. They actually have the landing. What I just did, that's actually $15 cheaper on the Xbox than it is on the PlayStation. Because, like I said, the PlayStation version of this being $30 is dog shit. Okay, it is dog shit when it's available on Steam for 20, and then it's available cheaper on the Xbox. So shout out again to Trey BK, because if it wasn't for Trey BK's donation to PayPal, I wouldn't have gotten this. And that's why when I see those other podcasts we were talking about earlier, we got a really good gaming community. Okay, we got a really good gaming community. J Fonz, the community, donated so he could get a new Xbox. Seriously. And and we got guys out there like J-Dub City that have they've given away 4 or 5 Xboxes. He's given away a PlayStation VR, and we need guys like that in the community. So, and that's our community. Now, look, I'm telling you right now, the fanboy stuff, that is garbage. Okay, garbage. Like I said before, I said during the podcast, you got grown men bragging about second place. That's more a problem for them. So, Xbox Kid came on the stream. So, I mean, look, I've got an Xbox X. I've been alive long enough to have every iteration of Xbox. It's a good console, okay? It's not doing anything. And I was on the multiplayer podcast, and I said, look, the first group of people they got to sell to, I think Jay Fonz was there. I said the first group of people they got to sell to is the Xbox people. All right? So it to me, them losing the MPD in November, that was a shock, okay? Because it's new hardware. I had to eat crow on that one too. Now, I didn't bet. I didn't lose no money. But overall, the whole thing is silly. Okay, the fact that Microsoft didn't win any MPDs for the whole year of 17, that's, as somebody who has stock in their company, that's distressing to me. Because at least Apple with their iPhone, every time a new iPhone comes out, by the minimum, they'll win 2 or 3 months. Okay? But, Microsoft can't even do that. With that said, the X is a good console. Okay? If you've not played enhanced games and the first time you're seeing them was on the X, you're going to be blown away. But we were lucky. I got a PlayStation Pro, and I was able to already play Hitman Enhanced. I was already to play Witcher if I wanted to Enhanced. I could play a racing game, Gran Turismo, something like that, Enhanced. I already had that experience, okay? Even Elite Dangerous, it was enhanced in 4K before the Xbox version was. That's just a reality. So, yeah, J-Dub, just shout out to him, man. The reason why I got my X is because of J-Dub City. I've said that before. So, I'm still making, and he's letting me make payments on it. I mean, that's unheard of. When you know that brothers that do that, brothers don't be doing that. So there's good guys like that, man. So, so this man, y'all need to chill out on that. So, not to go in on anybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody being here, but yeah, I don't like the whole fanboy stuff. You got to take that somewhere else. It's 2018, man. So. Subscription services, yeah, well, that's PSN is a subscription, and in order for me to play Elite Dangerous, I gotta have PSN, right? But yeah, Microsoft's Xbox makes most of its money off of subscription services. They've said that, okay? They, being Microsoft executives, Xbox executives have said that. So that when you hear a fanboy say that, oh no, they're making their money off the actual console sale, they're not being intellectually honest. You just say, okay, you're not being honest, let's move on. All right, now where's Tony P at? Because I need to figure out how the hell to get into my vehicle. I'm your vehicle, baby. Remember that one kid a week ago? Yeah, all right, well, let me tell you something about that guy. He is a, yeah, I think, you talk about that one dude, he's a white supremacist? That guy? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. So, and I can give you one guess what channel that guy usually listens to. So, yeah. So, yeah, he sure didn't like the fact when, shout out to Groidia Legends, when he said he's gonna go out and have sex with a white girl. Did you see him say that? And he went crazy when that guy said that. I mean, I was on the floor laughing. So, yeah, those people are the antithesis of white male fragility. So, I mean, they are. I mean, it was just making fun of his white male fragility was part of it. So, look at all these bounties. Oh, okay, yeah. Brother man got his kill on. So, instead of being kids, well, yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're right. So, but it was funny to me. I just don't know where those guys come from. You go fly out the station and land on the actual surface of the planet. Yeah, I did, but how do I get into my vehicle so we can take a quick tour? Is it Crew Lounge, maybe? What is this? Pallet application board. I don't even know what this is. So, maybe my ship's not compatible. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. I can't do it in the station. All right, so you're saying I have to leave the station, but then how do I roll around? The surface of the planet, not inside the station. That's fine, but is it... All right, so I need to leave the station. That's what you're saying. I need to fly out of the station. So, because if I have to fly out of the station, that's fine. Let's see if I got some jobs. I got about 15 jobs I took. Okay. Nope, not good enough. I'm not good enough. Hold on, wait a minute. Yep, not good enough. Not good enough. Alright, so I have to fly off the station. Okay, the surface of the planet. Okay. So, alright, so we're going to leave the station, guys. Alright, so I'm just gonna launch. And I got my vehicle though. I'm your vehicle, babe. Shout out to Jay Fonz in the chat, by the way. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. Basically crash into the planet bottom first with LG down. That makes no sense.
Restraints released. You may climb to escape altitude.
Landing gear retracted.
All right, now I'm in the now. How do I get out of? All right, well, hellfire. All right, how in the world do I get into my vehicle? But first things first, this right here is cool. Look right there. That is gorgeous. Okay, that is nice right there. But yeah, I want to get into my vehicle. Your landing gear need to be out. All right. Okay, so you just saying I can just land right now?
Landing gear deployed.
Now land on the planet like you're landing on it. All right. unsuitable terrain is what it says, guys.
Hull integrity compromised.
Now my ship's falling
Shields
apart.
offline.
Alright, the name of my ship, Tony, is 6 T-flops. So maybe the 6 T-flops of my ship will do something. It has to be flat, okay. Hey, how do I get my, there, I'm about to say, how do I get my ship to recharge the shields? Yeah, LOL boom, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Like Gears of War. Yeah, it would be cool in VR. Now, there is another game called Valkyrie that is in VR. Drunk driving. Well, they just said land. They didn't say it had to be on a flat surface, so maybe this is flat. And there's no way for me to know if the surface is flat, and my shield is only charging halfway. Hey, hold. Ship secure, hold that. No. Okay, it's not letting me leave. What is this game? Is it prejudice? It won't let me leave. Put full power to systems charging. Okay, it's doing that now. You can play in VR on a PC, yeah.
Shields online.
It's not letting me leave. Alright, what I'm doing right now is this is me looking around my cockpit. I'm doing that with the joystick. That's pretty cool. But I can't get out. Use the menu on the bottom. Alright. Target panel, system panel. No, that's not it. I'm telling you, it's not letting me do anything. Now I'm using a PlayStation joystick, so and it says to hold that. Is that the square button? No. Oh, okay. Oh man. All right. Yeah, let's see here. Let's go forward. All right. Yeah, it's not letting me go forward. All right, the handbrake's off. Oh, there we go. Nope. Damn it! I'm stuck. I'm stuck under the ship. Oh man. What's up, Fatal? I'm stuck. Oh well, let's just say we gave it one hell of a shot. I tell you what, if you all weren't here to help me do that, I did hit reverse. It, but if you're here to help me do that, I'd be going off. I mean, I would be screaming right now. It would be worse than I did on the oh, what was the name of that thing? Now I gotta launch. I am, but now I gotta start my ship. Drives offline. Drives engaging. All right, now I gotta start my ship. All right. Let's see here. I bet this is. Let's see here. How do I start my ship? Hold what for 10 seconds? All right, Fatal. How do I start my ship? I'm like stuck. You're I am too. I'm stuck here. I need to call AAA. Hold on. Time for a swig. Well, not doing that. Dude, I don't know how to start my ship. Hold on, let me see. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. All right, come on now. Let's figure it out, guys. Gas. Yeah, I know. All right. If I can't get out and drive around, I can't take off. Yeah, I need to call AAA or something, man. I can't get my ship off the ground. Shit just stopped. Retro boost is not working. It says drives offline. Whatever button you pressed and saw the thing above your text. This here? Might have a puncture. I might, I don't know. Ship secure. Hold a button to launch in blue. Well, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I need somebody. Maybe I should get out and push. That's what I'm doing. It says ship secure. Hold. That's what I'm doing. Take off takes an L. Okay, drives. Oh, right. Don't throw that, Joyce. I'm not. I mean, good God Almighty, let's hold that to launch. That's what I'm doing. I am holding it, T. I promise you. Ah. Hey, I'm learning. Don't mock me. Fatal said reload my game. Fatal, you know I was like a minute away. Thanks, Tony. I am, but I want to land my ship and roll around. Oh, you thought I was in a glitch? All right. This game's a lot more complicated than I thought it would be.
Landing gear retracted.
You are free of starport limits. This is traffic operations signing off.
Pong. You know, that's the first game I played, honestly, was Pong. Yeah, tell me about it, Trey. Yeah, 70s, yeah, that was the first game we played. It was on something called a Radio Shack. It was something from Radio Shack that we had.
Frameshift drive charging.
Pitfall, yeah, I remember Pitfall. If it wasn't for Pitfall, we would have never gotten Tomb Raider.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Yeah, Pitfall, and what else did they have on there? Pitfall 2. Also remember the game E.T. E.T., arguably the worst game in the history of modern man. So, I mean, it was Justice League bad. So... yeah, E.T., yeah, worst game ever. That game single... You beat E.T.? Really? Pac-Man, yeah, Pac-Man was bad too. Yeah, Pac-Man was real bad. Yeah, seriously, Pac-Man was horrible. Man, that game was sorry, man. Born in '86. Wow. You were born after all three of the Star Wars movies, Ian. Track and field. I remember that at the arcade. Track and field, Q*bert, Dragon's Lair. I would go to the arcade and just love it. Frogger was there, Centipede was there, Donkey Kong was there. Asteroids, Missile Command, Space Invaders. Those are some of the early arcade games that we were playing. And if you watch the show Stranger Things on Netflix, what those arcades, the arcade that they go to, that's what it looked like. I mean, you would go there, you ride a bike there, and you go there with $5. You would get because if you gave them $5, they would give you 28 quarters. They would give you 3 extra quarters for $5. So, and we would just sit there and plunk quarters into Missile Command and Frogger and Centipede, and then after Centipede there was Millipede. Oh, that's bringing back memories. So, Rampage, yeah, that was later on, but yeah, I remember Rampage. There's a Rampage movie coming out. So, I need to get another cargo scoop. Born in '68, yeah. But then you were there when everything was happening, when Microsoft, and I remember Microsoft's the Tandy 1000 that we had, and MS-DOS, and because MS-DOS is what you had to use to interface with the Tandy 1000. So 81, yeah, I remember 81. Yeah, not a whole lot happened in 81 though. Crack cocaine, the CIA put crack cocaine in black neighborhoods. 80 to 85. Shit just came out of nowhere. The music in the 80s was real good. I mean, that's what I really remember about the 80s, is the music. Bright colors, going to the skating rink. We had jams. Yeah, we had these shorts called jams, real bright colors, swatches, not watches, swatches, glow sticks, the jelly stuff, all that stuff is from the 80s. So, but really, really bright colors is what associates the 80s. Because you had two groups of people being told they didn't belong, and that was poor. It's like poor white people got into punk rock music. That came the same time as hip hop. That was born at the exact same time. So poor black people, we gravitated towards hip hop, and poor white kids gravitated toward punk. And everybody thought, why the world are the people talking to each other? And it's like, well, everybody's poor. Everybody talks the same language. So, But yeah, the 80s, a lot of bright colors is what I really remember about the 80s. So, that was a long time ago. Yeah, the music in the 80s, called synthesizers and drum machines had gotten invented. Remember Gary Newman? That song Cars. That's why a lot of the older people, if you ask them what their favorite Grand Theft Auto game is, we'll tell you guys it's Grand Theft Auto 5, because that's the politically correct thing to say. But realistically, it's Grand Theft Auto Vice City, because all those songs from Vice City, I still remember that shit on the radio. Hall & Oates, Twisted Sister, all that stuff was on the radio in the 80s. That Corey Hart, I Wear My Sunglasses at Night, those songs were huge hits. Yeah, Big Hair. The Big Hair band stayed around until a band out of Seattle called Sonic Youth kind of ushered in the grunge music. So it was Sonic Youth, and then it was Hole, that was Courtney Love's band, and then Kurt Cobain's band, God rest his soul, Nirvana. Once Nirvana came out, that was the end of the Big Hair Big Hair bands. It was over. They single-handedly destroyed the Big Hair bands. So, and they had some hits. Well, Lithium. Lithium's my favorite song by Nirvana, and Nirvana's drummer is Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl's the lead singer for Who? The Foo Fighters. That's why when you listen to the Foo Fighters, a lot of the stuff you're hearing is Nirvana. It sounds just like what Nirvana was doing. Not as heavy on the drum work, but better lyrically. I think Foo Fighters is better lyrically. But people have asked me what some of my favorite music is. But yeah, it's hard for you all to understand that. MTV, yeah, there goes my hero. Yeah, that sounds like something that Nirvana would have done. Yeah, I like that All My Life, Fatal. You like Vice City too, Trey? Yeah, but the music in Vice City, that's what was on the radio when I grew up. Like what you are listening to in Vice City, truly, that's what we were really listening to. So. So yeah. But yeah, I'm a bigger Vice City fan. Also, the big TV show in the '80s, Miami Vice, was the big show. That show came on Friday nights. That actually kept us home on Friday nights. So that show came on at 9 o'clock. That show was on, and then after that, a show called Remington Steele with Pierce Bronson came on. And I watched Miami Vice, and my mom and dad loved Remington Steele. So. Oh, cool. All right. So, but who else came out and then that's in the early '90s though. But the soundtrack for Vice City, yeah. I remember the young lady I was seeing at the time. We would ride around on Saturdays. She had a convertible, and we would just listen to that soundtrack from Vice City. I'm trying to think what else was on that Vice City soundtrack. You actually had the Miami Vice theme called, I think it was called Crockett's Theme. It was in that video game. Let's see, the Kinks were in that video game, the Fix. Everything in the 80s was the whatever. So the Kinks, the Fix, the Knack. Black Sabbath, yeah. Yeah, I love with Ozzy Osbourne. Everybody thought Ozzy Osbourne walked out on stage and bit a bat's head off, and all he had was a chocolate covered bunny, and he had put a hot dog in it with ketchup. So. And that's how that whole thing got started. Everybody said he bit a bat's head off, and Ozzy Osbourne's gross. But him doing that stunt, and it was a stunt, at that concert, that garnered him almost 5 years of free press. Also, MTV. You all are looking at MTV now, and it is nothing like it was. That's right, the Bugles song on Grand Theft Auto Vice City. When Grand Theft Auto Vice City is loading, the song you hear in the background is Video Killed the Radio Star. That's the first video ever played in the United States on MTV. And it was in that game. And I knew when I heard that song that I was in for a treat, especially with the music. Also, when Vice City loaded up, that's the way we had to load games back in the day. You had to put the tape, it was like a tape cassette looking thing. You put the tape in, or the game in. You had to type in all this stuff, like you had to tell the A drive to go to the B drive, then it was B drive load. Then after the B drive was ready, you would say run. What did it say? Run. It would be like run B drive or something like that. Or run quotes B drive. It was something like that. It's called Basic A. You basically had to be a computer programmer. So there was no 4K 60. Yeah, we weren't even thinking about that. 4K 60. Yeah, no, we couldn't fathom what we were looking at. We still had CRT televisions. and you would hook one up to the computer, and you know, you didn't know if the games that you bought ran on the computer that you had. It was this trial and error. So, it was a wild time, but you know, we had game companies you all were still using. We had Sierra Games. We had EA Games. Yeah, Polaroid camera, very popular. So yeah, look at all this cheddar we got now, folks. Man, we did pretty well. So, let's see here. See where else we can go. Yeah, I remember the Polaroid cameras. Yeah, the instant camera. I remember that came out and people went crazy. Take the picture right there, you shake it, and then it comes true. Yeah, antennas that are, I still use, I have a digital antenna now. Yeah, CRTs, yeah, TVs weighed a ton. You took two people for you to move it. Now you can just go into the store and pick a TV up with one damn hand. I mean, it's amazing. So, so there was no dedicated computer monitors. You used the television screen. People, and you still can today. That people still use TV screens for their computers. They still, what is it, RGB or whatever it's called, and or HDMI now. So, but I remember Trey, you remember this, the S cable. How many of you all remember having a what system had the S cable? This was it, the Sega Genesis or something like that, or maybe it was the one after that. We had an S cable. It was plugged that into the TV. Then after the S cable was all these other cables started coming out. So this, oh man, it's going back a long time ago. Showing my age. You were able to hide behind the TV then. Yep. VHS came out, followed by Beta. Betamax. Sony invented Betamax, but Betamax had a better picture, but the tapes didn't last as long. Beta tapes would last 3 to 4 hours, and VHS was 6 to 7 hours. So VHS outlasted Betamax. And I remember we first moved down here and we bought a VCR, and the first two movies we rented, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Star Wars. Yeah, the S cable. Yeah, Trey remembers that. Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff right there, y'all learning. So, yeah, but that's the stuff. Again, in Vice City, Grand Theft Auto Vice. That's why the music in Grand Theft Auto 3, when we got to Vice City and we heard that musical soundtrack, I was like, oh my god. But you do realize that Raymond Usher, or Usher, you all would just know him as regular Usher, he worked for Rockstar Games. That's why the music in Vice City and in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that's why the music was like it was, because he actually helped on the game. How much tape you use on that S cable? I hated that cable. I hated it because I remember having to constantly, you couldn't just feel and get it in there. You had to constantly look and like, no, I gotta go here, I gotta go here. I hated that cable. Like, I hated it with a passion. I mean, so, but yeah, that S cable, well, that was a big deal. So, yeah, I never had to fix them, though. I will say that. I never had to do that. So, but I remember the S cable back in the day, having to unplug it and plug it in. Was it the first 360, maybe? I mean, it's going back, but was it the first 360 had an S cable?
Landing gear retracted.
So, man, oh man. And the PS3 was the first thing to have, was the PS3, was that the first to have an HDMI? It was something like that. They're going way back. But yeah, back in the 80s, that's how we used to play our games. And EA started out doing a game called Dr. J and Larry Bird Go One-on-One. That was the name of the game. And it was a PC game. Ah. And then they went to Nintendo. Nintendo had Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird, and you had to sit up there because you could make Michael Jordan do all his dunks, and you had to sit up there and try to figure out how the configuration on the joystick and how to do it. And then once somebody at school said they knew how to do it, you would invite them over to your house and so they could show you how to do it. So man, that's going back a long time ago. But one of the traditions that me and 3 of my friends started was playing video games on Christmas Eve. And so that's why this past Christmas Eve I was streaming. That we started that tradition back in 1989. To this day, we're still doing it. On Christmas Eve, we will play video games on Christmas Eve. So that's a tradition for us going back, 25 years. Yeah, I remember the first analog, yeah. But yeah, that's a long time ago, so. But yeah, I hated those S cables because one, they were expensive and they would bend real easy. You would always have to have like a pair of tweezers around, and once you got your S cable hooked in, you did not want to go ahead and keep it, keep going. So unplugging, plugging in, unplugging, plugging in. Once I land at this colony, guys, though, because I'm at an hour on this stream, I'll lock the stream down. But yeah, I remember that. But so my favorite Grand Theft Auto, and also you had big stars in Grand Theft Auto. You had Ray Liotta playing Tommy Vercetti. You had Philip Michael Thomas playing Lance Vance. You had Cheap Marion playing the bad guy. I can't think of his name. You had Jenna Jameson playing Candy Sucks. Lawrence Taylor was that football player. Dennis Hopper was the person directing that movie. It had a cast and a half, and that's kind of when Rockstar kind of set the barrier for game sound and also hiring big time actors and actresses to do voice stuff. So we used to have a similar tradition. We would play Madden in RBI. Yeah, and to this day, Trey, we still, me and my brother doesn't anymore because he's married, has a daughter now. But me and Smitty and Andre to this day play video games on Christmas Eve. Even if it's playing on a tablet, they're playing a video game. And that's just something that we've kept up. Like I said, we started going to the arcade in 1989 together. We were bored on Christmas Eve one night, and Smitty said, man, let's go to K Arcade. It's open. And we went in there Christmas Eve and at 11, and we would play. And at midnight, the guy would go ahead and give us 50 cents each, so we would play a free game. What's an arcade? Yeah, I know. If you watch Stranger Things, where they hang out with all those video games, that's an arcade. But the arcade, it was the cool place to go. You had the arcade, you had the cute girls would be outside and all the guys would be out there. And of course, we would be inside because we were the nerds. We would be in there trying to, beat Dig Dug or Dragon's Quest or Dragon's Lair. And even if you watch Stranger Things, they even added the fact that you could they put the CRT TV on top of the video game. That would help people stand back from the game. So it was crazy. Seeing that attention to detail, I was like, wow, they really did pay attention to detail with this TV show. Remember that first Nintendo joystick? I hated that thing. But yeah, we'll still play Madden. So, yeah, talking smack. Yeah, I did not get online to play a video game. I tell you what, when I first got online, it was 1995. Windows 95 came out and people went crazy. I mean, people were lined up to get Windows 95. And once we got that installed, which took forever, you just thought you died and went to heaven. I couldn't believe what I was doing. No, there were no ultra textures, trust me. So, but I remember a friend of mine named James Maynard. Shout out to my boy James Maynard. He had a spare computer, and we rigged it up to do LAN parties. That's what you used to do back in the day. You would take your video game system over to somebody else's house and you'd hook it up, and then you would have LAN parties. That was full nerding out right there. I mean, those were great nights. You'd have the LAN party, then you would rent movies and order pizza and drink soda, and you just thought you died and went to heaven. And so, to this day, the people who did that, the people who are listening or will hear this later on, they know what I'm talking about. There was no online. There was no email. I mean, we couldn't fathom stuff like that. So there was no social media. Nothing like that existed for us. We actually had to use our imagination. So, but the LAN parties were huge. Some of the first games that I saw on the computer being played was Doom, Ghost Recon, and you all today are doing the same thing in Ghost Recon that we did back in 1995, 96, 97. So, yeah, Trey remembers those LAN parties, yeah. And it was the same for everybody. You show up, you'd have a change of clothes, you all pull your money together and get a pizza, and you stay up and play video games all night long. I mean, we would play all night long and sleep all day and do it again on Saturday night, and then go back to school on Monday and just talk about how much fun we had. So, yeah, and some of us, and then that's when everybody started splitting off, because you had some people playing video games, and then you had some people playing board games like Dungeons and Dragons. That game is still alive today, but my generation had that. Yeah, I remember, King's Quest, oh my God, yeah, but that was on computer, yeah. That was when we started getting our computers. That was mid-80s. King's Quest 1, which I never played King's Quest. I got a game called Heroes Quest by the same company, Sierra Games. Heroes Quest 1 and 2. Heroes Quest is the first video game that if you beat it and you saved it, okay, let me make this clear. This was on floppy disk. If you beat it and you saved it, you were able to transfer your character from Heroes Quest 1 to Heroes Quest 2. The only video game that has carried on that tradition has been The Witcher and Mass Effect. That's one thing. That's why we're drawn up when we play games like that. We're drawn to Mass Effect. It's automatic. So, yeah, you're shocked at how much you played on the PC. Yeah. And then I started getting into flight simulators and stuff like that. So, Blade of Darkness. I vaguely remember that game. Battlestar Galactica. The flight simulator games. Those were all, man, years ago. My goodness gracious. So, yeah, floppy disk. I remember when games started coming with 3/4 hard disk, and I remember seeing my first one. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, Wing Commander. Yeah, you're right about that, Bear. I remember Wing Commander was it on the Sega Genesis? And it looked like ass, but you didn't know it. You had nothing to compare it to except a PC. So, but yeah, Wing Commander 1, 2, and was it Wing Commander 3 that was live Which one was live motion? Yeah, I remember X-Wing versus TIE Fighter Fatal. Yeah, I remember that shit. So, because see, the first game out of that whole thing, Dark Forces had come out. Trying to think what else was out. But X-Wing versus TIE Fighter didn't have a story. It was just online. And they did another one called X-Wing Alliance. Came out about 2 years after that. X-Wing Alliance. And X-Wing Alliance is the final mission on X-Wing Alliance was attacking the Death Star on Endor. Using the Millennium Falcon, and it had they actually were able to secure Billy D. Williams' voice. Yeah, the original X-Wing. And I had that with all I had the deluxe edition, so I had the DLC with it, or the extra missions. And then I had, what else did I have? I only had one, okay. I had TIE Fighter, I had all those missions. So, yeah, then I finished up with X-Wing Alliance. I still have X-Wing Alliance here, it won't play on my computer, so I always wanted a computer. People keep on saying, well, there's a program you can have that allows you to play your old games. I'm like, okay, well, I need to know what the name of that program is, because I got a shit ton of old games. I got Falcon 4.0. How many remember Falcon 4.0? It's a F-16 simulator over North Korea. Like North Korea as it is almost right now. So, yeah, we played Goblins. We played Zombie. Yeah, I remember the Rocky game. It was flat garbage. I mean, in the beginning, you don't realize it. Yeah, Phantasmagoria. What was the Wing Commander game that had live actors though? That actually had Mark Hamill on it. Mark Hamill was playing the lead character. So one of the other characters was ended up being in the Lord of the Rings movies. It played the dwarf. He was actually in it. So was 3. Yeah, after Wing Commander 3, which I think Wing Commander 3 came out on the Sega CD. And, boy, I remember that, because I just thought that this was the best game in history. But that's when, you got to remember, that's when they didn't know, they being developers, they didn't know whether games were going to be full motion video, things like that. That's why we got games like Night Trap, which came back out, by the way. Yeah, I remember Phantasmagoria. I remember going to Best Buy and seeing that box. Like, wow, I can't play this game. Who remembers Apache 64? Apache 64. Who remembers that? I had all those games. Longbow, I had that. F-15 Strike Eagle. F-117 Stealth Fighter, I had that. So, yeah, man, that's bringing back memories. And that's why I say to people, if you played on PC and then now you're on console, you're getting a lot of stuff. Yeah, Old Dutchman, Red Baron. Man, I mean, I can go on and on. I mean, that's what I was doing. I would get off. I was going to vocational school when I got out of high school, and if I didn't have to work, I was bagging groceries at Kroger. That was my first job. And man, when I didn't have to work, I would get home from school, do my homework, and then bam, I was playing games. So yeah, Apache 64. Yeah, I had that. I had all that. Except it was called when I had it was called Gunship. So. But they went back and redid it. So. Getting some big money now. Getting some big money. So, yeah. But yeah, I remember all those games. And it's just, so when people try to say that, when they try to tell you all, that you all aren't doing anything that that we have not already done. That's what we mean. Yeah, we've already done that stuff. You know, been there, done that. So yeah. Yeah, Battleship. That was a board game for us, for my generation. Ah, three big board games. We were kids. Shoots and Ladders, Monopoly, and Battleship. One of us would get one or the other. My friend Keno got Battleship. Me and my brother got Shoots and Ladders, and Anthony, of course, being Anthony got was it Life? Yeah, he had a board game called Life, and we tried to play that, and we were kids, and we were like, I don't understand what we're supposed to do here. You know, I mean, we were like, 8, 9 years old. We were just going around, and I remember you got married, and you had kids, and we were like, ew, it says we had a baby. We would say stuff like that, ew, yeah. So, that's a long time ago, though. So, yeah, that was a while. All right, guys, I've been here like almost an hour and a half, and man, y'all been here with me. I do appreciate it. Appreciate the help on the landing. So that's the first time I done one, and a big shout out to you, Trey BK, because without that whole landing sequence stuff would not have been possible without you. So I do appreciate it. Just wanted you to hear it from me, and so shout out to all you all in the community that are just keeping it gaming. And well, I'm glad you all heard me getting frustrated, because that was real frustration. So it wasn't as bad as that Hellblade frustration. So yeah, I hopefully will get invited to a Titanfall Princesses podcast here, and we'll just go from there. And I'm off. Like I said, I'm not off till I gotta work tomorrow. I'm off Sunday, so I may do this again on Sunday, but I'll probably be watching football Sunday. But and a big shout out again to Jay Fonz for swinging by earlier. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat earlier. So yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna keep up the good work for everybody. I'm gonna try to. So and yeah, remember, like Fox said, play the games, don't play the corporations. And I do appreciate everybody being here, but I'm gonna bounce like a check. And so I appreciate it, and wow, I can't believe that I've landed on a planet finally. So never thought I'd see today.